Welcome, everybody. I hope you are having a fantastic day here on the Comical Sports YouTube channel. We've got another trade scenario coming at you here in the NBA. Make sure to follow, download, subscribe, all that good stuff. I know it's not a podcast. You guys know what I mean. It's a YouTube. You guys got this. So, Memphis Grizzlies are going to get eliminated from the playoffs here in the next couple of days. And so, it seems imperative to me that the Memphis Grizzlies need to find a way to upgrade their roster this offseason. To stay ahead of the curve in the Western Conference, you could either wait for Jokic to begin his decline, or you could wait for Chris Paul to decline or Devin Booker to decline, and Ja Morant will become a star player. The more likely scenario is that you take this young core that you've built up and start cashing it in for bona fide stars right now. And sometimes you just got to do the best you can given the circumstances. Like ideally, an Anthony Davis would be available in the offseason. Ideally, Nikola Jokic would be available for trade in the offseason. So without that happening, let's think of the biggest pieces left available going into the NBA offseason. Rudy Gobert is the first one that comes to mind for me. And if you believe Jaren Jackson Jr. is one day going to become Rudy Gobert, I understand keeping Jaren Jackson. I'm not going to say you have to make that swap. I'm saying I totally understand making the swap with Rudy Gobert for Jaren Jackson Jr. Because what Jaren Jackson Jr. is right now is a player who is used to acquire someone better than Jaren Jackson Jr. Maybe that's Rudy Gobert. Who knows? We'll see what time will tell on that. Right now, I would make the swap of Rudy Gobert for Jaren Jackson. Maybe you have to throw in a young player or a pick to make it happen, but I would do that if I were Memphis. So let's just keep going down the line here because there's an interesting trade scenario that I found while I was researching this move for Memphis. So Zach Lavine is connected to Portland and San Antonio, and he wants to go through the full free agent process this offseason. If Zach Lavine decides that he wants to join the Memphis Grizzlies, this is a really easy way for Memphis to upgrade to a player who's like a fringe perennial all-star, tier 3, tier 4 NBA star. It's just enough for Memphis to get maybe a little bit over a hump, stay relevant. I think Zach Lavine would be a great piece for Memphis to pick up. Now, Memphis can't just outright sign Zach Lavine to a $35 million contract, which is roughly what the max is going to be. Let's say 35 is the ballpark number for Zach Lavine. They can't just outright sign him to a deal. They can work a sign and trade very easily, though. So first place to slide in easily, Dillon Brooks. Just pop Dillon Brooks in. He's making about $12, $13 million a year. Just drop him into the trade, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. This is the piece you're upgrading for. You use Dillon Brooks to trade for a player better than Dillon Brooks. Maybe you one day believe Dillon Brooks will be as good as Zach Lavine, and until that day comes, you make the swap right now to go from Zach Lavine to Dillon Brooks. Next piece you can slide in to make the contracts work is Steven Adams. Hurts to lose Steven Adams, and at the same time, you got to get some sort of value in exchange for the trade. There's also one more piece that the Memphis Grizzlies can make to maybe recoup a little bit of that value, although in reality, you're flipping Zach Lavine for Dillon Brooks. You're already kind of winning that trade. But if you have to throw in Steven Adams, you can make this swap right here at the end also. Coby White from the Bulls to Memphis, going from Memphis to Chicago, Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones is a really good player, and right now might be better than Coby White, but that might just be in part because of the system that Coby White plays in. Him as a backup point guard on Memphis, former number 7 pick in the draft, a guy I've seen go for 30 points in a game. I think that would be a great little piece for Memphis to add as like a 7th option on the bench, give you the minutes that Ja Morant doesn't play, can slide in as a 2 guard at times. I think that would be an awesome piece for Memphis to pick up. And if you have to swap Tyus Jones to make it happen, I think that's a fair enough trade-off, especially since you're giving up Steven Adams in the trade anyways. So that's the deal that I've concocted here for this offseason. I think it'd be a perfect swap for both sides. Zach Lavine to Memphis, Dillon Brooks, Steven Adams going to Chicago, and also a Coby White for Tyus Jones swap mixed in for a little bit of good fortune there as well. Drop your thoughts below. If you want any other trade situations, check out our video on Jokic to the Suns. Check out our video last week of Duncan Robinson going to the Kings, Rudy Gobert for DeAndre Ayton swap, kind of little fun things going on right now. Drop your thoughts down below and hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you next time. Make sure to check out our full lineup of podcasts also.